Well, speaking of 0-5, 1-5, West Virginia tonight welcomes in TCU. And TCU, a top 20 team, a real good team, tough team. And you're sitting there thinking, well, yes, the game's in Morgantown, always tough to play, but does West Virginia have what it takes? West Virginia wins this game. They win this game in pretty commanding fashion, 74-65. The Mountaineers were 0-5 in the Big 12. They were 0-5 in the Big 12. I would venture to say, Chris Mack, that's the best 0-5 team in a power conference that you will ever see. They beat TCU by 9.
Absolutely. I mean, and you said it in the very beginning, the Big 12 is the best college basketball league in the country. And, for West Virginia to be 0-5 and to be rewarded with the gimme game of TCU. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, it's just a cutthroat, hard league to win in, especially on the road. TCU comes in and, West Virginia jumped on them, and then they stormed all the way back, and give West Virginia credit for being able to sort of hold off the fight that TCU displayed. But man, I don't know who West Virginia has on their schedule next, but a tough league.
They got Texas. Like they when you look at their schedule at Kansas State, they start off. Then they got to play against Baylor. At Oklahoma, they lost. At Oklahoma State, which is tough. I mean,
Yep.
Oklahoma was probably their first game where they're like, hey, look, we need to go ahead and get a win. So tonight, TCU, they got Texas coming up at Texas Tech, which is tough. Like, whew.
Yeah. And John,
so,
this because you played in the NBA for such a long time. I didn't know this I didn't think about it until my strength coach at Louisville came from West Virginia. He started talking about the travel that they have in the Big 12, which is way different than any of the other teams that are in that league. You're talking about they're coming back from Texas Tech. That's like a 3 hour and 45-minute plane ride. Those guys are getting back at 5:30, 6 in the morning. And the fatigue and the travel and the turnaround time that West Virginia has to experience versus those other teams is night and day.
It's night and day. And as a professional, we can fly home, go to our nice comfy houses, wake up in the morning, no class, no other obligations.
Right.
We're a professional. So when you got to fly from Kansas or Oklahoma all the way to West Virginia, you're also losing time because you're an hour or so ahead.
Yep.
It's definitely something to think about. And that's going to be interesting with UCLA kind of moving. I wonder if they're like how they're going to do that because you're switching time zones.
Crazy.
Like, it's going to be interesting. But like I said, we've been waiting on West Virginia to show us something at home, and they did tonight. And this could be kind of a win to get them rolling. But they got they got Auburn coming up. Then they play at TCU again. Iowa State. I mean, the Big 12 it's a gauntlet, man. Whoever survives the Big 12 probably going to end up being a Final Four team, man.
Hey,
We're dropping our merch.
We got to start calling Underwood Daddy Brad.
But I'm a big pod guy.